in the Inland Empire worldwide on the NBC Radio Network and on the iHeart Radio app. As always, I'm your man Jay Love, aka Uncle Jiggy. I'm joined by the statesman himself, Mr. Farron. How you
What's
feeling,
up?
sir?
What's up? What's good?
Chilling, man. I'm doing this really mobile right now, like legit mobile. I'm in the car.
For
Yeah, I
real.
mean, yeah, I mean,
I guess it's one of those days.
it's one of them days, man. It's thank God for technology. It's Wednesday, July the 7th, in the year of our Lord 2021.
Already.
You know, and so far today, I have had no extra Negro experiences.
No extra.
No, today's been a relatively calm day. You know what I mean? So I know everyone expects me to make everything racial because apparently that's what everyone has decided that I'm that guy. You know what I mean?
Okay,
And
okay.
I just want to report, especially to all my white listeners, that today has been a great day. I have not had not one Negro experience.
It is a Revolution Radio show, so I guess they got to expect something. They got to expect a little taste of blackness.
You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted y'all to know that I'm feeling really good today. We got a special guest that we're about to bring here in a minute. Yada dig. But I just wanted to bring one thing up in the news before I bring my guest in, and then we're gonna get into that for the rest of the thing. But again, me and you have been going back and forth on this particular news story.
Which one?
So, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are always tuned into this show, you know that typically I stand up for my people, and Farron always wants to stand up. I don't know who for police, for the military, for the and Farron said that okay, so we've been talking about this case where I'm gonna try to word it right down the middle. I'm not even gonna use names, but a young lady who is a superstar who showed the world black girl magic, right, was suspended from the Olympics. Not even gonna say no names because I don't want it to be obvious who the story is about. We'll just call it a hypothetical story because
no, this is real live. No, this is live. Don't be shamed.
No, I'm gonna call it hypothetical. I'm gonna call it hypothetical. And so she was suspended because they had found the Mary Jane in her system. And then there was a little loophole, right? Because there was an argument back and forth, like whether or not this rule should stand because not only in her state, but in the state that she qualified, it's legal. And then it was like, okay, she's going to run. She ain't gonna run her race, but she's gonna run in the relay. Well, the latest on this is that now they not even going the Olympic team itself cut her from the Olympic team. And so my question to you, and I already know your answer, but my question to you, Farron, is do you think it is unfair to this? I mean, it's unfair to this lady, or you think this is what it is what it is?
We have to let this story end because she already accepted responsibility for her actions. Just because we have the right to smoke weed doesn't make it right. She already took the L. She knew it. She knew it before she took the puff that if I get caught, I might lose my chance. Why are we still debating her story?
I'm just asking questions. I'm asking questions.
It's over.
So we're okay with a. Okay, it's done. Okay, fine, it's done.
Why you blaming you? Why you blaming America? This ain't about.
I'm not blaming it. I'm just saying. Look, again, Michael Phelps.
Apples and oranges, yo. It's not the same thing.
You right? Because he possesses a privilege card.
No, it's nothing to do with privilege.
I'm not an advocate. Look, I know y'all like to see me and Farron disagree. I want to be very clear. I am not an advocate for the THC. Okay, I don't advocate for it. Not with whatever. But I just want the same measure across the board. If Michael Phelps and all them little dudes who are not melanated could puff and get a gold medal, you know what I mean? Her mama died. She was grieving. Her mama died. She's like, ooh.
This is why the title of this show is called The Revolution Radio. We need to stop we need to stop comparing situations in the world, because if we keep doing this, everybody's going to be upset. You're going to always have something to be mad about. This incident is separate from any other athlete and weed conversation in history. She knew what she was doing. She accepted responsibility. It's not a comparison to Phelps or the transgender dude that's competing in the women's sport.
Oh, see, you gonna get me started on something else. You
None
gonna
of
get me,
that's connected. We can't keep connecting the dots in society, or we will forever be mad about something, man. We can't.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna prove that I'm not mad today.
Okay,
I'm gonna bring
good.
someone on this show who's not black. Okay, this is to prove that I don't make everything a black issue. Okay,
Finally.
all right. Even though Jesus was black,
Well,
hey,
they
don't get me
described
started.
They
You don't make
described
me
his
read the
hair.
Old Testament and show you all the melanated wonderfulness.
They
But
des-
I'm
they
gonna bring
described
in
his hair.
a beautiful, amazing young woman who is, to me, a living legend, a trendsetter.
Trendsetter?
She do brown girl magic.
Brown
You,
girl.
you, you understand?
Okay.
Brown girl magic.
Brown
Ladies
girl.
and gentlemen, please show some love for my play little sister, Miss Raylene Torres. Ladies and gentlemen,
Woo!
how you doing today, Raylene?
That intro. Thanks, J Love. I'll take
So,
the brown girl magic.
yeah, so we're gonna get into a lot of things because she's on this show for a specific reason. She got some things she want to talk about. But let me ask you a question, Miss
man.
Raylene. Here we go.
Don't
See
answer it. Just say power. just say I plead the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth.
I gotta ask you a question. But as a young woman of color, as you know what I mean, a lovely caramel complected, you know what I mean, caramel complected woman. Let me ask you a question. Do you ever feel that there's extra pressure on you to be a little bit more excellent because people literally judge you for the people around you that look like you?
You had to phrase it like that, huh?
It's a legit question. I'm just asking because we talk about this all the time.
I think the only pressure I respond to is the pressure I put on myself.
Thank you.
Ooh.
So it doesn't really matter the pressures others put on me, whether it be because I'm Mexican or whatever. You know what I mean? I try not to pay attention to that the best that I can.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Do you feel as a woman, there's still obstacles that you face that just your male counterparts don't, whether it be in your same line of work or just in life in general? Do you feel that there's still different things in society that just as a woman, this is the Revolution Radio Show. We talk about everything.
Well, of course it is.
So what do you mean? Like, do I feel limited because I'm a woman?
I mean, yeah. I'm curious because I hear, and here's what I'm asking, because I recently was reading something, right, on a New York Times poll that women still feel discriminated against, right? Like not just women of color. I'm saying in general.
I think women right now have the greatest opportunities they've ever had before.
Look at that.
I think that. I mean, look at our vice president. Look at the women that are in power and in place of position. I think that it's possible. Obviously, it's shown to us that we can be and we can do whatever. It's just a complex that people could take on or not. People would be mad at me for saying that probably, but I think the positions that men hold are not necessarily positions I want, and the positions that I'm able to have, they can't have.
So, that was a flex right there. You see, that was a low key, like, yo, I don't need what you guys, homie.
Because they can't do what I could do. You know what I mean? Like right now I'm in the room with my brother. His wife just had a baby. He can't have a baby. That's her flex. You know what I mean? Like,
wow.
So it's like, we could do things you can't do. You feel me?
No, I'm and that's the thing. Because look, here's the conversation we've been having, just so you know. I've been having this conversation, that the fact that, and millennials, go ahead, get ready to start sending the hate mail. There's two genders. There's male and there's female, and that's beautiful. It's beautiful that you can do things I can and vice versa. Right. Okay. And I don't care how you feel on the inside. I understand people got a lot of feelings nowadays, but at the end of the day, there's two genders, ladies and gentlemen. Two. That ain't. I know y'all be into this non-binary. I don't even. What does cis mean? I don't even know what cis mean.
I don't
But
know either.
the fluid, whatever. Stop it. Do you see this queen right here? She a woman. She a woman, and she good with being that. Can she be
Mhm.
that? Is that okay? And can I be a man? And we just leave it at that. And because again, I came out the closet, just so you know. I'm transgender, and I'm also transracial. I feel like I'm a 56-year-old white man named Scott with good credit.
You're so
Okay.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, and I'm cool with that, but I'm trying to let people know all of this talk about, because we've talked about like the whole transgender thing and all of that, and just the whole with the gender thing, and it's gotten to a point where, like, look, I know with this, I think you'll agree with me. I think I'm positive, but we believe in loving people, right? Regardless of who you are. I don't believe in discrimination. I think no matter who you are, but just because I love you doesn't mean I have to agree with you, right?
Mhm. Right.
It doesn't make me a bigot because I
Oh, no.
disagree.
No.
Mm-mm.
And I think that's the thing, is we've gone too far where it's like, if you disagree with people, you're a bigot. And there's a huge difference between that and the ignorance and insanity of, like, the guy in New Jersey who was calling people monkeys, uh, who was calling people monkeys and telling people to show up at his house, and they did. So that's all I'm saying. Like, I'm glad that you feel that, there is two genders, and that your gender is beautiful and amazing and wonderful, and you don't need to compete with a man or be like a man or do anything that a man does to be awesome in and of yourself.
I have a
Yes.
question for you. So I like to separate the activities of life versus the experience of life, right?
Mhm.
So that way of being that has you do what you do, right? What would you describe that as? Confidence? Like, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but what does it take for you to be in this field that's predominantly men? I know it takes a way of being.
It just takes, I guess, yeah, confidence and security, and what who I am and what I have, what I can do, and I think a sense of assurance, and I think mostly a sense of purpose,
Mhm.
like that I'm doing what I want to do, what God has created me to do. And
Mm,
I think when I set out to fulfill my purpose, something that has protected me is that I've said, don't compare your progress and don't compare your process. And whether that's to a man or to another female that I'm running next to, I think as long as I don't compare that, because my process is going to look different than the person next to me, and my success will look different than the person next to me. And I think if you could be comfortable in that, it's like there's a scripture when Paul says, I've learned the secret to be content in all things, and I feel like that's kind of been something I've held on to. I've learned the secret to be content, not to be comfortable in the sense of not wanting to grow, but
Right.
content in my sense of purpose.
I hope y'all are taking notes, man. She dropping jewels right now. I need to where my bam, 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 bam. Major key alert. Major key alert. She's dropping jewels. You know what I
He's
mean?
such a hype man, James.
Right, right.
So look, I'm gonna give you an opportunity, Raylene. Okay, look, for those of y'all don't know, Raylene works in the field of rehab. She's like really hands-on with helping young women turn their lives around, right? Literally, she's impacting lives. Okay. So Raylene, I'm gonna give you an opportunity right now. So because you talk real big on a sense of purpose,
Yeah.
right? And confidence. So where does your sense of purpose and belonging and not belong, but confidence come from? Go do what you do, girl.
Is just loving God and loving people. That is my mission in life. I have the greatest opportunity. I run a women's recovery home. I have 12 women in my home, and they come off the street literally, and we just love them back to their purpose. Some of them, they get their kids back. Some of them, they become missionaries. They travel the world. And I think my sense of purpose is like seeing them win. They win, I win, because that's what God created me to do. And I love it. I love it very, very much.
How did
That
you get
that's
into that? How did you get into that field?
Well, I've been raised in the ministry called Victory Outreach, and so we're an inner city ministry, an inner city movement, And when I was 19 years old, I gave my life to Jesus, and I went to like kind of like a missionary school in a sense to separate. And that's where I felt that sense of calling and purpose to give my life to reach the inner cities of the world. And this was the last door that's opened up to me. I didn't really expect to have this opportunity, but God brought it my way, and it's been one of the best seasons of my life.
Nice.
Yeah. So Raylene, we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff, but why are you on the show today? I know you're trying to push something. What's going on?
I didn't know he was going to ask me, and I just came on here to promote a concert that I'm throwing on Saturday, Summer Jam 2021. It's going to be at Victory RH in the city of Chino, Saturday at 6 p.m. We're having Z408, Antoine Hill, my girl Angie Rose, and SB Tone. It's going to be really dope. The tickets are $15 online. There's group rates, there's meet and greets. We're going to have some food trucks, and it's going to be Saturday, July 10th at 6 p.m. Doors will be opening, and you could go to our website, viochino.com, to register and get your tickets. Summer Jam 2021, a hip-hop concert. I know we've been inside all year long, so now's the time to come out and have a good time. So come join us for our concert.
How much are the tickets?
They're $15 if you buy them online. I believe $20 at the door. There's
That's
also
it?
a merch package where you could get the shirt. We have a really dope Summer Jam, like those 90 early 2000 vibes, graffiti. It's going to be dope. And then you could also get the merch set, or you could do a group rate. If it's 10 or more, the tickets are only $10. So save your money, get your friends together, buy the group rate. And then, yeah, that's nothing. I mean, I've spent a lot more on a concert, and this one's going to be really dope. It's a lot. It's a cool mixture too, because we have Angie Rose, who's like that New York Bronx vibes. She's from New York. Then we have
I think I heard of her before. I think I heard of Angie Rose.
The name sounds familiar. The name sounds familiar.
Man, it's like, it's right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sitting outside the hospital. That's how I'm like.
Look, we're going. I was gonna keep you though, but I won't keep you the whole time since you're out there sweating. But listen, I want to say this, okay, ladies and gentlemen. Look, you need to come out to this event for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's just a cool event. It's a dope event. Some great music, great people. You know what I mean? But number two, it's for a good cause, right? Like, so where's the money going? Like, that they need to understand that.
So it is a fundraiser, and all the finances go to World Missions. We do an event called Run for Hope every year where the finances go to World Missions. Me personally, I've traveled. I've been able to see where this money goes, and I run a recovery home, like I said, that we don't charge anybody, not a penny, to come into our homes. We have over 400 homes all across the world in 6 of the 7 continents, and no one pays a dime to come into our homes. And so a lot of these finances will go to fund that, to buy vans, to buy homes, to make sure the doors stay open in all these different countries. So come support it.
That is absolutely amazing. I want to say this as well, y'all. You need to follow Raylene on Instagram. You need to follow her, because I'm telling you, she's a leader. She's someone. Look, I know y'all are driving. You just remember Raylene Torres on. Wait, what is your Instagram handle?
Raylene T85.
Yeah, Raylene T85. I'm gonna put it up here in a minute. But listen, those of you who are driving, I know some of you are parents. You don't want your daughters hanging out with them ratchet chicks that you know which ones your daughters be hanging out with. You know what I mean? They need to find people like Raylene. You know what I'm saying? Because and y'all ratchet ones, you need friends like Raylene, because you need to tame the ratchet.
I love the ratchet ones too.
Yeah, she love them. Stay away from me. Go hang out with Raylene. She loves ratchet. I don't do ratchet at all. Ratchet, no ratchet. Ratchet, no ratchet.
That's a terrible description.
Raylene is more like Jesus than I will ever be. He told y'all he's still working on me. I got issues, you know what I'm saying? But I'm glad he loved me anyway. But Raylene, I'm gonna give you opportunity before you get out. And before I do, Farron, did you want to answer something?
Oh no, I'm good. I mean, everything sounds good to me.
So I don't leave you burning up in the heat. I'm gonna give you an opportunity, since you got an audience right now. There's a lot of people listening, a lot of people in their cars driving home from work, whatever. If this was, and I say this to people all the time when I have guests, God forbid, and we don't want to speak, but if it was the last time people ever heard your voice, what would you want to leave people with if this was the last message that went out and got beamed into the universe?
Wow, that's a loaded question. Um, Geez, I would say is that Jesus is everything you need, and that he's got it all, and with him we lack nothing. And if I feel like I've scored in having a relationship with God, that he's able to meet needs that nothing and no one else can. So if you're searching right now for whatever it could be, a sense of purpose, belonging, even just love, or maybe you feel alone or addicted or whatever, like he is the answer, like for real, for real, for real, for real. And I think if I could tell anyone anything for the last time, is that Jesus is the answer to every problem, circumstance. He's the solution. And I pray that everyone will be able to experience the love that he offers, because with him, we got it all. That's probably what I would say. And love people, be nice, be gracious to people, please. Don't cancel people out. Believe in people, love people. And
Yeah, everybody's struggling.
everybody's
Yeah,
struggling. And
see,
grace doesn't make sense until you need some. So give it
Right.
exactly. See,
Right,
she said it.
exactly.
Stop trying to cancel me. All y'all haters, stop trying to cancel me.
And you
Can't
stop
do
trying to
it.
cancel people too, James.
I'm gonna put him in a headlock so he can scream for mercy.
Yes, yes.
Raylene, one last thing, Raylene, do you think you could give us a couple of tickets that we could give away? Would that be possible?
I could give you 2 tickets to give away. Yeah.
Bam, 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 bam. So we're gonna have some tickets to give away, y'all. I'm gonna get those. We'll have them this week for y'all. But Raylene, thank you so much for coming
Thank
through.
you.
We
Thank you for having me.
appreciate you. We're gonna play Angie Rose here in a minute. But ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen, that was Raylene. Thank you for coming through the Revolution Radio Show. We hope to see you again. And yo, make sure you come out Saturday night. Check it. And fellas, she's single. She's single. Yo, you see how fly she is? Y'all need if you listening on the radio, Raylene is crazy cute, y'all. You need to come Saturday. She's single, but you got to make 6 figures or more. Look, I'm gonna give you. Look, I'm helping you out. You need to have a good job. Well, no, first of all, you gotta love Jesus. Okay, let's get that out the way.
First.
But a 6-pack doesn't hurt. You don't have to have it, but it don't hurt. Understand what I'm saying? She like them caramel complected. She don't discriminate. She she don't even. You could be even a little dark.
I knew this was gonna happen. Like I was dreading this moment. I'm not even surprised.
Yo, look, get at your boy. We gonna auction off a date with Raylene. We're gonna do it live on the show. A date with Raylene.
She did not agree to that.
I did not agree to this. Disclaimer.
Raylene,
No.
thank you so much for coming on the show. We're gonna see you on Saturday. You're amazing.
See ya. Bye, guys.
We'll see you later. So, you think she'll still be my friend?
Nope. Not after Saturday. Not after Saturday.
So yeah, but look, y'all, it's gonna be a dope event. Make sure I'm gonna be talking about it all week. Well, there's only a few days left in the week, but and we'll give out the tickets on Friday. But make sure that it's a dope event. Like she said, there's been a lot of or not. There's been a lot of. We've been locked down for so long that, man, it feels good now that things are starting to open up again and we're starting to go places and be around other people and
just be responsible, ladies and gentlemen. Be responsible. If you're not feeling well, please stay home. Don't do that to other people.
Yeah, because I still, if you cough around me, you might get kicked in the throat.
Be responsible.
I'm fully vaccinated, but I got PTSD. You know what I'm saying? From this COVID PTSD, be messing with folks. You know what I mean? But man, let me ask you this, man. Like it's crazy. Well, first of all, I gotta say love and prayers and shout out to the folks in Florida, because last news I heard, the hurricane just touched ground. And so there's fears that because ever since we've been talking about the building that collapsed and then they demolished it and everything else, right? But subsequently, like other buildings near it started having fears about, you know what I mean? Like, are these buildings up to stand? You know what I mean? Like, as far as like, is there any issues with these? And so they found in some of the buildings, and they think that as many as upwards of 67% of the buildings in that area might be compromised as far as structurally.
What?
And so, man, I, I didn't make this up. Uh, and so, could you imagine if, and again, I know sometimes people get a little bit over worried about things, right? But
Yeah.
could you imagine? I mean, because what if this hurricane hits and like the dam now, like we got 2, 3, 4, whatever more buildings. I mean, we haven't even got through the full catastrophe of this one. They still have not recovered all the bodies. There's still over 100 bodies missing. I just can't imagine what it would be like for that area in southern Florida to deal with that, because a hurricane by itself is already bad, right? Yeah. Dealing with this building by itself is already bad. But then to add all of this together, I just prayed it, and that it is an exaggeration, right? That we're worried for no reason.
That's gotta be exaggerated.
But that's what they're saying, it because people immediately started calling like their building superintendents and property managers and all that, and they started finding that the surrounding buildings in that area, that many of them had structural damage.
But structure must be from over time, like this can't.
Well, correct, right? Because what they're finding is there's a pattern in that area of these either owners or the management companies that oversee it have neglected these buildings for way too long. I just think that there needs to be some accountability and fast.
So we're not just talking foundations issues. You're talking about the structure of the.
Well, yeah, because a lot of these buildings are well over 40, 50 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, so because like people laugh at California, right? And say that, excuse me, folks, forgive me. But people laugh at California and say that, we're a hippie state, and that, because, we have so many codes and so many like here in California, you get cited for everything, right?
Oh, yeah.
But buildings are up to code. That's one thing we can say for sure. Call it whatever you want and say that, we're too sensitive or whatever. But here, for sure, most of the time, buildings is up to code. You can't say that about other parts of the country.
I guess you got to look at, I don't know, the weather conditions over there. That's just sad. That's sad if that fear actually has some truth to it.
Well, and I brought this up also to ask you, because I know, again, we've established this, but if you're a new listener, Farron was in the military for quite some time. And so I know that a lot of military bases are older, right? I know that many military bases go back, especially on the East Coast, to the earliest parts of this country, right?
Yeah.
Is there something, and the reason I bring this up is because that's the closest to government as far as to get an understanding of how government functions.
Yeah.
Right. So is there something that you, and maybe you don't know, I don't know if that would be a part of anything you would know, but as far as is there anything in place that, where they, I don't know, annually or 5 years or whatever, where they check out structures or?
Oh yeah. One of the offices that I worked in, one of the bases I was on, they finally came through and tore out the ceiling and stuff because it had asbestos. So things like that.
I don't mean to laugh, but
yeah, that's for real. So yeah, we do have facilities management. So those buildings are old, but when they get to the point where there's some structural issues like that, yeah, we take care of that.
I just feel like sometimes, like, if we privatized a lot more things, but again, I guess that is privatized though, right? Because it's a building owner. It's not, man, it's like, how do you, like, because on one end you want to privatize things, but on the other thing, the government, but it's like, where's the happy medium?
Like you say, people's got, these businesses have to be accountable for the work that they're doing or not doing. And so who's following up with the building, people who manage these buildings? That's where the broken communication is who's checking the people who are supposed to be checking the building. And
yeah, because of, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, and so that's probably there's a inspector. The inspector needs to be inspected.
Well, in other news, I
Uh-oh.
don't know if you were aware of this, but Bill Gates uh, is getting a divorce.
Oh yeah, that was talked about a few. Is it final? Is it finalized or something?
Yes, but here's the crazy part. Uh, Bill Gates, there was a loophole in his is a loophole, right?
Okay.
That's allowing him to get out without having to split half.
Ooh.
It must be nice to be that rich where you can
Ooh.
find those loopholes. He
Ooh.
didn't tell his homeboy Jeff Bezos, because Jeff Bezos, you know what I mean?
Jeff Bezos
But
gave up his
here's my
billion.
question. Here's my question.
Mm.
Do you believe that automatically when someone gets divorced, that their spouse should get half?
Man,
Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This that tough question.
you know that's tough because that depends on the relationship and the agreements of those couples. So for me to, I know what I had to give up, and it wasn't that, and it wasn't that. So I think it depends on the relationship. I know that the Bible, what I learned now after mine is is if you get married with a prenup or anything like that, it's like
Right.
you already believe in it ain't gonna work. So I, I can't answer that because I think it's based off of the relationships and how people come together and those agreements, that couples make. So I can't say if she should get half. You weren't with me when I was shooting in the gym. I mean, you got you got you got all those. Yeah, I couldn't give you a honest opinion on that one, man, because relationships should be created between those couples anyway, and the government shouldn't dictate, you know, who gets what.
Well, because California is a community property state. It's
Well, yeah,
automatically half.
yeah, of
It's
course.
autumn. It's
Unless
and
unless you have unless you have agreements in place that negate half. So
right.
maybe he had something in his agreement that she didn't catch when she signed those
Okay.
papers.
And again, I'm just asking questions, y'all. Y'all want to always be mad at me. I'm just asking questions. My next question is: do you believe that uh doesn't matter whether it's the man or the woman, doesn't matter.
Okay.
Like whoever has more money should be responsible for the other person living the same exact lifestyle that they lived while they were together because that's what they got accustomed to.
No, that I don't agree to. Yeah, but if we bouncing, you bounce, and you gotta live your life. You gotta go back. If you gotta go back from the
But for
five bed,
Ron, I got accustomed to
that
getting to flying in my manicures from Italy every Thursday.
well, you need to go
That's
move.
something I gotta.
Hey, take this last check and move to Italy. So you ain't gotta fly him in. You can go live there.
I just
I don't. That one
it's
I don't agree to. I don't agree that the person, male or female, should have to maintain the other person's lifestyle. Nah, you go back
see
to square one.
you just got a lot of women upset right now because
Hey,
they like they
I
like well
wonder
because
what Mary J. Blige got to say about that. What Mary J. got to say about that? Some women had
I
to
just
pay.
yeah so okay I know
So,
personally know a woman who had to give her husband alimony, right?
mm,
Because during the marriage she made more money and
mm.
he got accustomed to that. So and me having my personality was like, well, what's good for the goose? Uh you know what I mean? Like women do it all the time. Even though I don't like your ex, I think you know what I mean? Like I don't even like him, but he took a win for dudes. Like I remember I was excited when Kevin Federline got paid off of Britney. I was like high
Oh,
fiving. You know what I mean? Like he still, I think Kevin Federline still to this day gets like, I think it's 50 grand a month.
Wow.
Man, you know what I mean? That's why, like, you know, I agree with Dave Chappelle. We should all be trying to get Oprah pregnant.
Good luck.
I want Oprah to be my baby mama.
Good
I'd be
luck.
like, don't worry about it. Look, I'll take full custody. You ain't got to do nothing. I change diapers. I'll get up in the middle of the night, do the bottle.
It ain't that serious.
Hey, hey, I live in the back house where Stedman live. You know what I mean?
We don't want to talk about Stedman. Stedman got issues.
What's wrong with Stedman? Stedman, look, Stedman has played his position like a G.
That's what you call that?
Stedman has played his position like a G. You ain't heard in 30 years. You ain't heard now word from Stedman. You ain't never seen Stedman out in a even slightly, you know, slightly even tiny bit compromised position. You ain't never, like, I don't even think you've seen Stedman with his homeboys. Like, Stedman has played his position like he deserves a trophy in the side dude Hall of Fame.
What position is that? The side dude? Is that what you
Well, look,
you're talking about?
allegedly, I'm gonna do a wink. Allegedly, Oprah, you know, might have affinities for, I don't know. I'm not gonna be the one to say it because, you know,
Yeah, don't say
I'm
it.
still trying to get interviewed by Oprah.
that
But
might get you interviewed for sure.
but Stedman, this dude has been her boyfriend for going on what, 30 years almost?
Longer than that, I think. I remember that
It's,
conversation when I was younger.
and you know what I mean? Stedman, like, you know, he's cool. Like, oh, we ain't got to get married, Oprah. I'm good right here in the back house over here in Montecito. Don't worry about it. I ride my bike down to the beach and check out this beautiful view. You know what I mean? Look, am I wrong?
Are you right?
But anyway, look, this is what I wanted to talk about today, and we mess around a lot here on the Revolution Radio Show, ladies and gentlemen, and we joke and we have fun, and you know, we talk about all kinds of issues. But here's what I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about communication, right? Okay. I believe it's important that more than ever, as we communicate less and less, right? Because now there's not, as far as, we don't really communicate like we don't talk to one another, right? I think more than ever it's important, and I don't know about you, sir, but I'm saying for me, I find it difficult. It's crazy because it's like, wait a minute, are we really being, number one, are we being clear when we communicate with people, and secondly, are they interpreting what we're saying as well? Because so much is done through text, right? Yeah. So through text, like, you can't tell intonation. Yeah. You can't tell, like, there's a lot of nuances that are missed, right? And it's easy to, like, miss words or misinterpret. You know what I mean? Like, if you read too, you could, like, wait, what did I just read? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I guess my point is this, man, and it's my point and my question to you. Is it like, am I over exaggerating, or really are we in a place that as human beings, we don't communicate as efficiently and as openly as we once did?
Now, so I'll speak for myself, and I realized even after this past week that my text communication is not good at all. And I realize I text how I think. Right. And so sometimes how it lands on the other side of the phone
is not what that.
Not exactly right. So I was thinking about that, man. It's a good conversation, because with text message, and I did learn this early on, but you know, you just because you know stuff don't mean you're gonna act on it,
Right.
right? But especially if you in a disagreement or you in an argument or you not on good terms, how you text and how the person is reading your text in their mind, because they're not reading it out loud, they're reading it in their mind and probably reading it
Right.
with the attitude of they have with you. So
Right.
woo wee woo woo woo. So text messages, uh, I know I need to correct those, and sometimes it's just simple to type something, but
Yeah.
it's broken. It's definitely broken communication. It does it. I could say live today on Wednesday that it doesn't work. It
Yeah.
doesn't.
And so yeah, and I'm saying for me, right? Same thing. I read text in my voice,
Mm.
right? And if y'all haven't figured this out yet, I'm a little bit animated, right? I'm a, I'm a little bit. So you may not be yelling at me,
Right,
but I'm reading it in my voice.
right.
So when I'm reading the text, I'm reading, yo, what you doing? Like, oh, wait, why you coming to me like that? Right?
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? And it takes me a minute to go, wait, hold on. Let me stop. Right. And so, and because I right away want to text back in my voice, you know what? I don't know who you talking to. And that, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And so you feel me? And so, and then I also, so there's a combination of that, right? And then I don't know about you, but I like usually by the time I send out a text, I've done about 32 revisions, right? Because
Oh
I'm like,
no! See, I text how I think, so it might how I how I think it and how I type it. It sometimes don't even match. There might be a couple of words missing. It might be responding to the previous three text message from above. I mean,
right.
so but I want before you go, I want to say that that voice in our head, that subconscious mind voice that's talking when your mouth is closed, that voice is not your friend, and that
Yeah.
voice will that voice will get you in trouble. And sometimes the voice and the thumbs connect.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, absolutely, man. And even like,
not
and
good.
I'm learning two things. I'm learning that number one, right? But I'm also learning that because I'm used to animation, right? In my life, like my mom was loud, my grandmama was loud. Well, black people in general, for the most part, are loud. Like I'm used to animation. I made a generalization. Yes, Farron looked at me and made a face, but I'm learning that I have to, right? Because like I may not mean it like rah 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 rah, right? I may not mean it that way, but it comes across that way, right? So I'm learning that like, and which is, and I'm being honest, I'm being transparent here, right? I have to like stop, and I'm not always successful at doing this, right? But I have to stop, take a breath, and be over exaggerated in terms of, okay, so let me see if I understand what I think you're saying,
Mm,
right? And like literally talk in that manner,
yeah,
because if not, I don't want to escalate a situation if I'm genuinely trying to understand. Because I've learned that in the past, for me, and I'm not saying this is everybody, but I think a lot of us have this problem. We listen to respond, not
right,
to understand, right?
right.
And I'm trying to get to the place, and I think all of us should try to get to a place where we listen to understand as opposed to listening to respond. Because I believe it's in our nature, like to want to, it's like a self-protection mechanism, right?
Yeah.
When people come at us a certain way, or we perceive it, as them coming at us a certain way.
But that's the part I'm pointing to is, and I know I catch myself when I receive text messages from people, and if I have an attitude with that person, I'm reading their messages with an attitude.
Yeah.
And that's the danger of text messages, because if the relationship is not working or there's been a conflict, even from like 3 or 4 days ago, and you still texting and you haven't made a voice connection, I still read it with an attitude. And they'll be like, oh, really? Like, oh, like that's your choice of words? Like, and it's just words on the screen. But the meaning, and that's, I think, not that I think, but that's, for me, is what I have to really start to pay attention to, because after this week, I realize it I'm tired. When you start developing yourself and you realize you're just doing stuff that just don't work no more. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I realized that this week that it doesn't work. And what led that to this conversation was, in communication, was my mentor. He said he has this thing for his communication dialogue skills, says that compromise is not communication.
Ooh.
And so when I read that, I was like,
Ooh.
I
Oh
was
my God, that one just hit me, man.
right. So when I read that, I was like, hey, Caldwell, I'm like, wait a minute, Caldwell, like, this is like, I had an experience when I read that, and I was like, hey, Caldwell, like, wait, what compromise is not communication? He's like, no. And I'm like, I need to check the definition of compromise because
Right.
I think I've been messing up for about 45 years.
Right.
So he says compromise is where you just agree to you agree to shut each other up, so it never gets resolved.
Wow. Oh my God, dude, that was deep.
Yeah. So ever since yesterday, my mind, day before yesterday, my mind has been just jacked up because
Oh my
now
God, dog. I'm literally dealing with something right now. You just messed my mind up.
I've been messed up for 2 days, bro. I've been
because in other words, I didn't even see this. Yo, that's passive aggressive.
Yeah, exactly. So what's behind that is stuff like that. Exactly.
Wow.
So I've been messed up, bro, for like 2 days now, because then I could look in my life and see the damage.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's what that was there. Well, no wonder that stuff doesn't get resolved, because we don't communicate and talk about it and resolve it and come to an agreement. It's a compromise. Okay, well, yeah, we'll do that. But then it's not communicated, and you're just settling just to shut the other person up or to shut each other up.
Wow. God, dude, I'm sorry, that one punched me in the face.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I've been bent over for 2 days, like, damage control.
Because I didn't realize I was passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like, I thought in my mind, I justified it as I'm being the bigger person. But really, I was just being passive aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Until it shows up again, and then you got to do that all over again. So it never gets resolved. And he said that politics is the biggest, how can I say, is where that shows up is in politics. It's compromise.
Wow.
And they use compromise as a great thing to be able to do. It's compromise. So so when you say communication, that also is a label, right? Because you have to get deeper into communication. Communication with who? Communication with your wife, communication with your friends, communication with your girlfriend, communication with your cousin. Like, you have to get specific when you say, I want communication. And a lot of times we just use the label and be sincere with the label, but then the work behind and what it takes to really communicate is, as you just said, is listening to either understand or relate. Like, you have to find out your communication skills, which is listening and not talking.
Yo, that's fire, dude. Yeah, that's fire. Look, we wanted. Yeah. Woo, wow. I hope y'all got them nuggets, man, because that was heavy. Listen, We about to get out of here. Before we do, want to remind you the concert's coming up this Saturday. And just in case you haven't heard of Angie Rose or you ain't heard none of the music, ladies, I'm going to play something for you right now. This is the Revolution Radio Show on 102.3 FM. And this is Angie Rose, ladies and gentlemen, with 7 gold chains.
I'm from the concrete jungle. First thing you learn, stay humble. OG taught me keep it J like the 7th in the alphabet. I've been through the desert and I came out like the alchemist. About to pull fire from the wind, make it rain. 7 gold chains, turn to 7 gold rings. About to pull fire from the wind, make it rain. 7 gold chains, turn to 7 gold rings. Hit me. Go stupid, go ignorant. Dance like David, catch me moving in the spirit. About to go mad, Randy Savage, I'm the kid. I was childlike faith, but the business so legit. I gotta get it to go, I gotta get on the road. Tell them no play that they already waited, I'm too good at flipping this dough. If you want me, you can find me now, I'm chilling on the block. Man, it's so hip hop, but I get it from the rock. Let me pull fire from the wind, make it rain. 7 gold chains and these 7 gold rings. Holla, let me pull fire from the wind, make it rain. 7 gold chains and these 7 gold rings. Hit me. Oh, y'all thought it was finished? Man, I ain't so. About to go stupid, go ignorant. Hella melanated, let them argue about the pigment. Why they so stupid, so ignorant? Argue about the facts, then they hit you with the fiction. Nope, call me Joseph, got the favor of the pharaoh. Looking like a dove, no Isaiah's on the sparrow. Call me Joseph, got the favor of the king. These 7 gold chains and these 7 gold rings.
Yo, that was Angie Rose, ladies and gentlemen, with 7 gold chains. I know probably the folks on Facebook got blocked because Facebook is a hater, but whatever. But listen, we just about out of here. You got any closing remarks before we get out of here, Ron?
No, we just I promise y'all that it may not be this week, but coming next week, I'm gonna have some topics myself around communication, around just some dialogue stuff that we can start to work out as we have some fun on this station, but also revolutionize some of these conversations, man, because this is real talk. I mean, this is real life right happening.
Absolutely, absolutely. So listen, y'all, here's what I'm gonna give y'all some quick homework, man. Find one person to communicate with tonight, whether it be an apology, whether it be a just, hey, how you doing today? But just find one person. It could be, hey, that's what I'm talking about. It could be your spouse. It could be your brother. It could be anybody. But I want to challenge everybody. Just go out there and communicate, like audibly talk to somebody this evening. Yeah. You know what I mean? And let's start the process of just all of us getting better. And so with that being said, as always, I'm your man, J Love, a.k.a. Uncle Jiggy, chilling with the statesman Farron himself. And we always want to remind you, this is the Revolution Radio Show 102.3. And we always want you to know, reach for your best, reach for success, but most of all, reach for God, because God is love and love is everything, man. We'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Be blessed.
All right, peace.
Oh, my.